Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the August 12th, 2026 meeting of the Brighton Town Board. I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and I am calling this meeting to order. Please rise if you are physically able to do so. If not, rise in spirit, and I'll ask Councilmember Saltzman to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In just a couple minutes, we will begin the open forum portion of our meeting. The open forum is the opportunity where members of the public can share their comments with the town board. We'll give instructions for those of you that might be on Teams on how to do that in just a minute if you need to go from the YouTube live stream onto our Teams meeting. As we have done for many years now, our town board meetings are accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing community. Thanks to our ASL interpreters. We appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you very much. And as a reminder, the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as all the materials we're reviewing as we make our decisions tonight, are available on the table outside the room or on our webpage, www.brightony.com. We have no proclamations tonight, so we will begin our open forum now with some brief introductions. The open forum, of course, is that opportunity for members of the public to address the town board concerning any matter relating to the town, whether or not it is an item on our agenda this evening. Once I finish these instructions, if you are here in the room and would like to speak during the open forum, please raise your hand. When I call on you, please come up to the podium to speak. If you would, please introduce yourself, your name and address. If you're participating in the meeting remotely and you wish to speak during the open forum, you must participate in the meeting on Teams, and there are detailed instructions for doing so on the town's webpage. If you would like to speak from Teams, please use the raised hand function, and you'll be unmuted by the host, and you'll have the opportunity to speak. Again, I ask all speakers during the open forum to please state your name and address before speaking. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and I will give you a 30-second warning before your time expires. We may not be able to answer questions that you may ask, particularly if your question relates to a matter that's not on the agenda this evening, but our goal tonight and during the open forum that we hold at every meeting is to give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with the town board and for us to be able to listen to your words. Therefore, please direct any remarks during the open forum to the town board and not to the room or to other speakers. Please avoid personal attacks or outbursts of any kind, including applause, boos, or the like, during the open forum, out of respect for the speakers and out of respect for the time of everyone here tonight. Persons who don't follow these rules will be warned. Repeated failure to follow the rules may result in additional action needing to be taken. So with that, we will open the open forum. Is there anyone here in the room that would like to speak? Yes, sir. Please come to the podium. And if you would, please state your name and address and share your thoughts with us.
Sherwin Serini, 41 Farnborough Road. When reputable organizations execute a large project that either fails or has to be halted, those responsible organizations conduct a formal postmortem. The postmortem includes not only those who executed the project, but especially those who were affected by it. On March 21st, 2025, Supervisor Maley correctly halted the predictably disastrous townwide reassessment. To date, I'm not aware of any serious postmortem that was conducted and then communicated to the citizens of Brighton. In particular, there's been no effort to receive input from those affected, namely the citizens of Brighton. This is particularly irresponsible since at least 2 board members are attorneys who fully understand the high value of contemporaneous documentation. However, one does not have to be an attorney to understand the high value of contemporaneous documentation based on ordinary life experiences. Since the cancellation of the reassessment, much but not all valuable input for planning the next reassessment has been lost and will undoubtedly impact the success of the next reassessment. This board needs to require the current administration without further delay to do the following: perform a thorough postmortem, and most importantly, as part of the postmortem efforts, solicit written input from any and all citizens who wish to participate. The input does not need to be answered. It just needs to be kept as important input for the planning process for the next reassessment. Failure to include citizens' input could easily be construed as irresponsible and arrogant. At each meeting, just before the open forum, as we saw tonight, there is a statement that the board listens thoughtfully to those speaking. I, as well as others, have spoken with often wonder if that is true. Whether or not that is true can only be judged by action or inaction that follows. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Serini, and I certainly understand your concern. I think it's important to... Oh, sorry, that's, let me make sure I'm talking into the mic here. And we will include your comments as part of the record of the meeting. We do take the process of assessment very seriously. As you probably know, when we made the decision not to proceed with the townwide reassessment, valuations were restored at the existing levels, although the equalization ratio continues to change, recognizing the fact that fair market value of real estate, particularly residential real estate, in the town of Brighton continues to rise. The goal of a reassessment is to make sure that all individual properties are valued fairly. As we know, at different points in time, sometimes high-valued properties are going up faster in price, sometimes lower-valued properties, sometimes commercial properties are going up faster, sometimes residential. So, although we can have an equalization ratio, that doesn't necessarily reflect the actual value of a given house, and to make sure, or a given property. So to make sure that people are paying their fair share, no more, no less, it is important to do reassessments of property. And I anticipate that time will come again. It does take time to properly do an assessment. We had some personnel changes that necessitated the decision to terminate the pending reassessment. We are certainly discussing internally the reassessment process at some future date, and there will be, I'm very confident, during the course of the reassessment, engagement with the community as a whole to make sure that people, reassessments are hard. They're hard for people sometimes to understand, and they're hard to implement because they do involve large amounts of data. We understand that having public input into the process is important, and I want to assure you, you've got 5 people here tonight, as well as staff people. We do listen, we do take your comments seriously, and in particular, we are very sensitive to the seriousness of a revaluation.
Can I say something?
Oh, yes.
I don't disagree with anything you just said. Maybe I didn't word it right in what I was saying. My issue is, I agreed with the project when it was proposed. As I said in there, I agree that you canceled it correctly. But the issue has been for me since then that there hasn't been the type of follow-up I think is needed. I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
And I understand it's a tough process. That's all the more reason. You need the document, and again, as a lawyer, you know contemporaneous documentation is extremely important. Okay? In the interim, since the reassessment was canceled, people have either moved, left, memories fade. If you don't capture that information in a timely manner, you really lost the valuable input to the next reassessment. Okay? And again, I really believe that you need to go, see, you still have time now. Go out to the public, ask them, do you want to give us input? You don't have to answer it. Just ask for input from the last reassessment, keep it, and when the next reassessment committee or task force, whatever it is, starts to do the planning, they have that as input. That has been my whole point, not the whole process.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
In fact, one thing I want to tell you is, the big issue I had with the whole reassessment, your communication throughout that process was spot on. The problem was, and again, you'll find out if you get the input from others, was the inconsistent messaging from others.
Yeah.
And you'll find out if you go on.
Well, thank you.
In fact, what I ran into was totally contrary.
Yeah.
You said this, and then when I had to deal with somebody else, oh, no. That's not true.
Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. That's the concern.
And I'll say this too, Mr. Sereni, if you want to share that, in writing, or if you want to share that experience, I'm not asking you to name names or anything like that now, but if you'd like to share that with me, either in a written communication or set up a time to talk, I'd be happy to do that.
No, I did send a letter to Dan back a while ago, and I think Dan forwarded it to you.
Okay.
And everything was in there.
Okay.
If you don't remember.
I'll take a look at that.
Again,
And if I've got any questions, I'll reach back out.
the intent of the process of the project was great. I thought it was terrific. As I said, even up to the day of execution, it was the inconsistencies.
Okay.
And again, why lose all that opportunity to avoid any failures in the next one?
Sure.
Because truthfully, it's left a sour note in the town of Brighton. So I think it's even more important for the next one to say, oh, here we go again, and start getting complaints, which probably shouldn't be complaints. They should just be, this is a fair process, but there's been enough happened that leaves a taste of, well, maybe it wasn't that fair. Again, that was my
Sure.
opinion anyhow.
Sure.
But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it,
Thank you.
especially on a rainy night. I don't see anyone else in the room, and I don't see anyone on our teams with their hand raised, asking to participate in the open forum. And with that, we will go on, and I will ask Councilmember Werner for a motion to approve the agenda.
Bill, if we have no one further, then I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mailer.
Aye. We have no public hearings tonight. We do have 3 items of communication. The first is the recommendations from our town Sustainability Oversight Committee concerning the proposed capital improvement plan. We will be talking about the capital improvement plan and the budget a little bit later, but we always appreciate the SOC's input on the CIP. That process has been going on for about 15 years now, and it is very valuable, I think, in the process. On a related note, we have communication from Bridget Monroe, assistant to the supervisor, advising that the town budget workshops will be held on the 19th and 26th of August. And then the third item I want to talk about a little bit more. It's a communication from Carolyn Birch. She is the Economic Development and Executive Offices Coordinator for the municipality of Brighton, Ontario, Canada. That letter is dated July 31st. Now, you may recall last year, in the aftermath of threats that President Trump made about annexing Canada, his very brief temporary plan to dramatically raise tariffs on Canada, on imports from Canada, I received a letter from Mayor Ostrander, Mayor Brian Ostrander, from the municipality of Brighton, Ontario. And at the time, we received and filed that letter along with my response. I think I read the letter at the time. Mayor Ostrander sent the same letter to each of the approximately, I may be a little off on the numbers, but there were about 26 Brightons in the United States. There's two towns of Brighton, of course, in the state of New York. There's one in Franklin County. There's Brighton Beach down in New York City. But Mayor Ostrander sent this letter expressing his concern that the threats from President Trump were going to harm relations between our two nations and, between two communities that are both share a name. Apparently, and surprisingly to me, after speaking with Mayor Ostrander, I learned that we were the only community that actually responded to his letter. Since that time, well, in my letter of response, I shared that the entire town board was distressed by the impact of the hostile actions directed at Canada, that we all welcome the friendship that has long stood between the United States and Canada. In the letter, I told a story several years ago. On a Sunday afternoon, I was going over to Town Hall to do some work. And I saw a couple motorcycles parked in the parking lot and two people sitting on the front steps of Town Hall. I said hello, started chatting with them, and it turned out that they were two people who had ridden their motorcycles from Brighton, Ontario, to Rochester. And while they were here, they wanted to visit Brighton, New York. And so they did. They're on, right there at Town Hall. Had a chance to chat with them. They were about ready to leave. Those are the kind of things that are reflective of what friends do, of countries, of communities that have a relationship. And we've continued the discussions with the mayor and with Ms. Birch from his office. And most recently, we have discussed the establishment of what they have called a twinning charter between our two communities. It is a document that I'm going to read in just a moment. And in addition to receiving and filing our communications tonight, I'm going to ask for authorization to sign that twinning charter. And assuming that we do that, I am planning to schedule a trip to Brighton, Ontario for a signing ceremony there. And I'm hopeful that Mayor Ostrander will be able to come here and visit Brighton, New York, as a way to really put in place and strengthen an ongoing relationship between our two communities. So let me read that twinning charter. It's a twinning charter between the municipality of Brighton, Ontario, Canada, and the town of Brighton, New York, United States of America. Convinced that friendship between communities strengthens understanding, cooperation, and goodwill across borders, we, the residents of Brighton, Ontario, and the residents of Brighton, New York, hereby choose to twin our two communities. United by a shared name, a common spirit of community, and a unique historic connection stretching across borders and generations, our municipalities recognize the bonds that have grown through friendship, culture, and mutual curiosity. The origins of our shared name reflect a common heritage. Brighton, New York, was named in 1814 by William Billinghurst after his hometown of Brighton, England, while Brighton, Ontario, received its name from Joseph Lockwood, the village's first postmaster, who also chose to honor the Brighton, England roots of his family. Though established independently, both communities share a connection to the same English town and have developed their own distinctive identities while preserving a common thread of history. Over the generations, further ties have emerged between our communities. Beginning in the 19th century, residents of Brighton, Ontario, and the surrounding region were drawn to Rochester, New York, by opportunities created through its expanding industrial economy. Some settled in neighboring town of Brighton, contributing to a shared story of migration, opportunity, and family connections that cross the international border. These links are reflected in the histories, institutions, and even the cemeteries of the Rochester area, where many descendants of Ontario settlers rest, preserving memories of the long-standing relationship between our regions. And as an aside, I will note that as part of preparing this, town historian Mary Jo Lanfear and I had some discussions, and she did some research hoping to identify American black Americans who, using the Underground Railroad before the Civil War, may have gone to Brighton because it is directly across the lake. Unfortunately, she was not able to document any such specific individual migrations, but we know that the Underground Railroad terminus, Rochester, was one of the northern terminuses, and they crossed the lake, and it would not be at all surprising that some of them wound up in Brighton, Ontario. But to continue, on this day we solemnly commit to celebrate the special connection between our two Brightons, and I'm not going to read all of these, but whose libraries and residents have fostered friendships and exchanges through social media, inspired by the many occasions in which our communities have been mistaken for one another based on their shared name. To honor the shared heritage embodied in our name, recognizing that both communities trace their name to Brighton, England, while embracing the unique histories and identities that have flourished in each municipality. To honor our unique geographic relationship, recognizing that our communities stand almost directly north and south of one another, connected by the landscapes, waterways, and traditions of the Great Lakes region. To preserve and share the stories of the people, families, and institutions that have connected our communities through migration, commerce, sport, culture, and friendship, and to work together for the flourishing of a lasting international friendship founded upon cooperation, respect, goodwill, and neighborly spirit. As a testament to this commitment, the Mayor of Brighton, Ontario, and the Town Supervisor of Brighton, New York, affix their signatures to this charter, thereby sealing this bond of friendship for present and future generations. I would ask first for a motion to receive and file these items of communication. Can I have a motion, please? Christine, go ahead.
I move that we receive and file these communications.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none? Oh,
We
go
do
ahead.
have representation from the Sustainability Oversight
Yes, we
Committee
do.
here this evening. So if Mitch has any comment to make on the report,
That would be great,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Christine.
we're putting you a little bit on the
Mitch.
spot.
Yeah, okay, yes, thank you for having me. I did want to say that the SOC did put a lot of work into making comments and putting the letter together. And as part of the SOC, I wanted to say thank you for allowing us to put something together and to reading it and taking our concerns into heart. And I think that, you know, the fact that we have an SOC is something exceptional, and the fact that you guys solicit basically our input into budgeting and how the direction of the town goes, I think is also exceptional. And as you look for it, recognize that our goal is to try to get Brighton to be as effective as possible, as efficient as possible, and as environmentally friendly as possible. And I think that you know, for the most part, you guys embrace our concerns and our comments, you know, in a really constructive way, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah.
And we know the comments are submitted in exactly that frame, in a constructive way. You have great, as always. People aren't going to have to hear me tell the story much longer, but the first year I was elected, actually, while I was campaigning as supervisor, the SOC issued their first set of recommendations on the budget, and I found them to be incredibly useful. And it's something that I think is very important as we move forward with the budget development process. So the SOC always makes not only, you know, constructive criticism, but you offer suggestions of, you know, specific things that we can consider doing, and that makes the input most valuable. So thank you.
And I think that, yeah, I appreciate that. And I think that the direction that we're going is, you know, helps out on many levels, and both from a sustainability standpoint, but also from economic standpoint. And when it's done right, I know that, you know, Brighton serves as an example for other towns. I have friends that live in other villages and towns that ask me, how does it go, and how do you guys do what you do? And I'm happy to talk to them about it, and I'm proud that we're a part of it.
Great.
And Mitch, I've gone through this in detail, and I'm
Yeah.
very impressed with the work that the committee has done. Transportation, pedestrian safety, land use, and so forth, in detail. And there's nothing, I see nothing but a positive approach to things. We appreciate your input and help.
Yeah, it's the committee's, everyone on the committee is very committed to improving Brighton from many regards. A lot of it is, you know, quality of life. It comes down to quality of life, and that's above all else. So thanks.
Thank you. With that, any further comments? We have a motion to receive and file the communications. If there's nothing further, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti,
Aye.
Supervisor Mail.
Aye, and related to the final piece of communication, Chris, can I have a motion to authorize the supervisor to execute the twinning charter between the municipality of Brighton, Ontario, Canada, and the town of Brighton, New York, United States of America?
Bill, I move that we authorize you to execute the twinning charter between Brighton, Ontario, Canada, and the town of Brighton, New York.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Bill, I note, while you were chatting, I was able to go online and look at, I think Clara was, looking at some details about Brighton, Ontario. It's a lakefront community. They've got a canal that goes in right there. They have a small island, and they're about 12,000 people.
Yep.
So they're a good bit smaller than we are, and more oriented towards recreation and such.
have recreation, tourism, and of course, tourism is one place where border communities have already been impacted, particularly on this side of the border. Canadians don't necessarily feel like coming to this country right now, and it's very understandable. Small things like this can make a difference and can send a message. They're also an agricultural community. And of course, one of the major trade items are agricultural products. So
It's true. It's true.
we, with our long history of, technological manufacturing, the Rochester area has always been a major trade center per capita. So, yes, the economics of maintaining good relations are obvious, but just in general, the benefits are so much beyond just the economics. So I look forward to a long-standing relationship with Brighton, Ontario.
I mean, if things go well, I could envision maybe a ferry that crosses the lake. One Brighton to the other.
What do you want to call it? How
Brighton
quickly will it?
Brighton
How
bomb.
quickly will the ferry move, Christina?
At a sedate pace. One in each direction.
We have a motion to authorize the twinning charter. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailing?
Aye. Committee reports. Community Services.
Community Services has not met since the last town board meeting. Next meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday, in spite of the incorrect date that I circulated on the draft agenda. Next Wednesday, the 19th, at 10 a.m. at Brookside.
Thank you. Finance and Administrative Services. Clara.
Yeah, the committee met this last Thursday, August 6th. Among the topics we discussed, one was to authorize the supervisor to approve the agreement we have with Penny Lane Printing for the quarterly newsletter in an amount not to exceed $3,172. We also discussed the agreement with Empire State University to continue leasing the facilities while the town hall renovation is still ongoing. And lastly, I wanted to highlight, I think it's also a topic on our agenda, but the notices that have gone out for the budget workshops that are going to be held on Wednesday, August 19th and Wednesday, August 26th at 3 p.m. In this room. And our next meeting will be on Wednesday, August 19th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you. Public Safety.
Public safety last met yesterday. On the 11th, we spoke about, let's see. This happens to me every time. I can't read my own handwriting. I wrote it 10 minutes ago. We spoke about a temporary gas leak at the old town hall, which will become the new town hall. It was handled safely. Cleanup was done well, and construction resumed. September 13th will be Public Safety Day at our farmers market. We last week we had Speed Week, and I know the chief, I think, personally wrote 33 tickets. Is that right? That's what I have written down here. But just another reminder to be safe when you're on our roads. We also, and I didn't want to steal Christine's thunder here, have dates for our walk audit for Lac de Ville Boulevard and for Penfield Road. That's August 24th and August 25th. And if you want to get involved, they can contact
You?
me,
Yeah.
or any one of us on the board, I'm sure can direct you to where you need to go. And that walk audit is just to walk these streets to help us informally determine where we could add crosswalks or any other traffic calming measures. Our next meeting will be on September 8th at 0800 hours.
Thank you. Public Works.
Thanks, Bill. Unfortunately, we were unable to hold our August meeting yesterday. However, our next meeting will be September 8th at 9 o'clock a.m.
Thank you. Moving on to new business. Clara, reading and approval of claims.
Earlier today, I reviewed the claims. The total $1,588,601.49. Of note, we have interest payments on 2022 bonds that went to cover the purchase of parkland as well as highway trucks and machinery. And then we have a number of different expenses for the town hall renovation, including approximately $174,000 for electric contracting for the town hall renovation, as well as $189,000 for construction services. And lastly, we also have about $80,000 for asphalt. That's just for patching and paving roads. One last item to note is we had about $56,000 went to update the HVAC system that covers the library and the public safety wings in the town hall. And all claims appear to be in order, so I move for them to be approved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Manley.
Aye. Chris, the next item, please.
Bill, the next item is to authorize the supervisor to amend the municipal snow and ice agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation to reimburse the town for additional plowing and treatment of state road miles during the 2025 winter season in an amount of $143,478. I move we approve the resolution before us.
Second.
This falls in the category of every cloud really does have a silver lining. We had a lot of snow last year, and under our ongoing agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation, a portion of the compensation we received is increased based on the amount of snow and the number of runs that had to be taken. So it was particularly snowy. I think this is the biggest increment that I've seen in quite some time, an extra $143,000, because, of course, the town plows not only our town roads and streets, but we plow, it makes all the more sense. We're out there plowing streets, we plow the county roads, we plow the state roads under contracts with both. So we have a motion, it's been seconded, to sign this contract and accept that $143,000. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Manley.
Aye. Clara?
Yeah, the next matter seeks to set two public hearings for the proposed 2027 town and special district budgets, charges, and assessment rolls. I move that we approve the resolution before us.
Second.
Those hearings will be held at the town board meetings on October 14th and October 28th. State law requires one public hearing. This is one of the several ways that the town's budget development process goes above and beyond what the state law requires. These public hearings will be separate public hearings, one on the special district charges, the sidewalk district, the sidewalk snow removal district, the sewer district, and the like, and then on the operating and capital improvement budget itself. We have a motion. It's been seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Manley.
Aye. And Clara, the next one too, please.
Yeah, the next matter seeks to set a public hearing for authorization to adopt a budget commencing January 1st of 2027 that may exceed the tax cap. I move that we approve the resolution before us.
Second.
Of course, the state tax cap involves a formula, but it restricts us to and requires us to take additional action should we exceed the, in this case, 2% tax cap that will apply to the town of Brighton. Obviously, we make every effort to keep the town's budget within the tax cap, but I think we all know that there are between items that are mandatory to us, for example, our collective bargaining agreements with many of our employees, the retirement system contributions that have to be made, our health insurance premium, all of those significantly exceed a 2% cap. It will be very, very difficult to stay within the tax cap with the budget this year. Obviously, in addition, we have the debt service on the town hall project. We are going to be working very hard, but I think it is only prudent to expect that we will likely exceed the tax cap and therefore have to hold this public hearing and adopt a local law to exceed the tax cap. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Christine?
Yes, the next matter seeks to declare as junk certain fixed asset items to be disposed of by a sale or recycling. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
This is something, of course, that we do periodically with computers and related systems. If we can sell them, great. If not, they may have to be disposed of. Any further discussion? Dan, please call the roll.
Who was the second on that? I apologize.
Clara?
Sorry. Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. And I'll have you do the next one as well, Christine.
Happily. The next matter.
I figured you would.
The next matter seeks to authorize the acceptance of a New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee grant for pedestrian and bicycle safety enforcement and education in an amount totaling $12,950, and to authorize the supervisor to execute documents and agreements concerning said grant award. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
Further discussion? We appreciate the money, and we know the department will use this grant, as they do their other grants, to target specific safety issues, specifically in this case pedestrian and bicycle safety. Hearing nothing further, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Nate, the next matter.
The next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to execute an amended cooperation agreement with Monroe County for federal community development block grant funds for a term starting October 1, 2026 through September 30, 2029. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
We have for many years participated with the county in the Community Development Block Grant Program. We've discussed in the past that communities with a population of less than $50,000 have a significantly smaller CDBG grant, and we found it useful to work with the county. Typically, these projects are infrastructure related, particularly sidewalks and crossings. So this will continue that for an additional 3 years. Further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Clara?
The next matter seeks to authorize a supervisor to enter into an agreement with Penny Lane Printing for design, layout, and printing of the quarterly town newsletter in an amount not to exceed $3,172.02 per issue, or $12,688.08 per annum for a term of 1 year, effective immediately through July 31st of 2026.
It should be 7.
Of 2027?
Yes.
That's just a correction. With the option of 4 one-year renewals. I move that we approve the resolution before us.
And that change should also be in the resolution itself, 2027.
And
I'll
that-
second that, with the changes.
Discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Nate?
The next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to enter into an irrevocable permit agreement with Empire State University for the continued use of the facility at 680 Westfall Road. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
And although this agreement is technically called a revocable permit, you can think of it as kind of sort of a lease. There are some legal reasons that it's called a revocable permit, but the functionality is it's the agreement under which we occupy this space. It currently runs through October of this year. We anticipate being in the building probably until early 2027, and therefore we will be asking to extend the agreement. We will be required to give Empire 90 days notice when we do ultimately decide to terminate. So we will be having to plan and coordinate the ongoing work at Town Hall and the coordination of the move back to Town Hall with the expiration with our notice to the Empire of our plan to terminate the lease. But for now, this gives us a couple more years, which we know we won't be using. So we have a motion. It's been seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Chris, the next matter.
The next matter, bill, is to set a public hearing for the proposed extension of the Brighton Consolidated Refuse District. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
Glenn, do you want to, we have 355 new parcels that are proposed to join the district this year, and you have those petitions here. Glenn, I don't know if there's anything you want to say. I know Chad has worked very hard to, as he does each year, to coordinate these petitions to extend the district.
Yeah, no sooner than we approved the last batch last year, the petitions for new refuse districts came in. Chad's been working through this. I think he even extended the period a little bit so we could get some of the neighborhoods that were finishing up their applications. So it just shows that a lot of the residents want to join this refuse district and take advantage of the reduced prices that others in other communities who pay 2-3 times more for refuse pickup. So just shows that although we have our bumps along the road, we're still making it better as the months go on and people want to join in.
And kudos not only to Chad, but also to Leslie Zaretsky in your office. Both of them have been our primary points of contact with Waste Management. And as you say, the price is one obvious advantage of being part of a district. We've talked over the years about the fact that having fewer garbage trucks and fewer days when garbage trucks go down the street and fewer days that garbage is out on the street as being other advantages of having a district. But I also don't think you can underestimate the benefit of having, because they're part of a district and part of really a town function, the ability of town staff to act as a go-between if there are service or other problems. And Chad and Leslie have done a great job of that. Further discussion. This, again, is just to set a public hearing. That public hearing would be held at the town board meeting on September 9th. Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Chris, why don't you do the next one as well?
Bill, the next item is to set a public hearing for the proposed removal and replacement of a number of trees. They include a 37-inch white ash at 29 Wendover, 42-inch Norway maple at 151 Ashbourne, 2 32.5-inch silver maples at 193 Greenway.
And it's actually only one. It appears there twice because it was pushed out to a second meeting. I was confused by that as well.
Okay. Greenway, a 49-inch silver maple at 257 Avalon, a 60-inch willow, my goodness, at 110 Fairhill Drive, a 46-inch silver maple at 150 Brookside Drive, 33-inch Norway maple at 290 Dunroven Lane, and 56-inch silver maple at 15 Holloway Road. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
And again, this public hearing will be scheduled for September 9th. Discussion? Hearing none. Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Christine?
Yes, the next matter seeks to set a public hearing for proposed amendments to the incentive zoning of a battery energy storage system project. And as I am scrolling through the 531 pages of the packet, somebody help me with the date that this will
September
end up
9th.
being. Thank you. Everything on September 9th.
Yeah.
Move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
Except for the budget hearings that are in October. Largely, this the amendment reflects the fact that we now have a better understanding of the substation that will be needed as part of this overall project, and the applicant is proposing a $50,000 increase in the cash amenity to the town in connection with that. So again, this is just to set the public hearing on that amendment. You have the amendment here with you, as well as quite a bit of information about the proposed substation. Any discussion? Hearing none. Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti.
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Matters of the supervisor. In case you hadn't heard, everybody's heard this by now, but we're excited because former President Bill Clinton will be in Brighton on Friday for the commencement of our friends and neighbors across the street at the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship for their commencement ceremony. We congratulate the Golisano Institute and, of course, the graduating students, and we really share the appreciation for the opportunities that we've had to work in partnership with the Golisano Institute, particularly serving as the current home for the Brighton Farmers Market, which has worked out very well. The Institute has a booth at the market every week. People can learn more about the school, and I think just being on site, and I've seen many of the administrators of the school shopping at the market. So we really appreciate their being willing to work with us on that. Also, some exciting news happening next month. The Sidor Optics Advanced Technology Center at the MCC Brighton campus will be opening. Employers, both in the public sector and the private sector, know how challenging workforce development can be right now. MCC has been such an important part of the workforce development ecosystem in the greater Rochester area for so many years, and this Advanced Technology Center will certainly continue and make sure that they stay up with the technology changes of the time. We're, of course, very proud that MCC's main campus, their original campus, is here in Brighton on East Henrietta Road, and that this facility will be locating on that campus in Brighton. Last thing, I looked out my window upstairs yesterday. I looked across the street, and I was pleased to see that the traffic control box at the corner of Westfall and Sawgrass, that painting had been completed. Chris, you have coordinated so many of these traffic control boxes. I know you you primed it
I'm the prime guy.
a couple of weeks ago, but can you talk about this new design and just tell us a little bit more about
yes,
it? It's
the-
beautiful. I love it.
Retina Associates has their office in the back of this stretch of Sawgrass, and Margaret Wheelahan there is their office manager, and she contacted the town and was referred to me about their wish to paint the box with just an excellent design. And there is a bit of self-interest, I think, because it's got one eyeball on the front.
Yes, it does.
There's another one on the other side. They are different colors, and I think that was very sensitive. But they seem to have disappeared for about 6 months, and they resurfaced again this spring. Very anxious to get going. So it was with some difficulty that I found both a break in the hot weather without rain, so that I could put that primer on, which had to have the temperature of the box less than 90 degrees, which is difficult to do with something that stands out in the sun. And I agonized a bit over how I was going to test the temperature, but a meat thermometer does it. So I went out there with my probe and touched the box, and it was not uncommonly 110 and 120 and more degrees on that box. But one cloudy day, got it done about 2 weeks ago, about 2.5 weeks ago, and Margaret and the crowd went out on the town.
Nice.
And they've done just a beautiful job.
Yes, they have. And I watched you priming out there as well out the window. So thank you for continuing to coordinate that. That's really made a difference here, but on intersections around
And
town.
invite anybody else that would like to submit a design to do so, and be thrilled to paint. We've got a lot more boxes in town that could use it.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Chris. That's all I have. Matters of the attorney to the town.
Thank you, Supervisor. Nothing to report this evening. I would request, although not on the agenda, an executive session to discuss 2 matters of pending litigation.
Thank you. We'll do that. Matters of the town clerk.
Nothing this evening.
Thank you. Matters of the town board. Hearing none, can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the McGarry and Pulverino lawsuits?
Bill, I move that we go into executive session to discuss the lawsuits you indicated.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Councilmember Sanguinetti?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailing?
Aye. Thank you again to our ASL interpreters. We're always happy when we give you a little bit shorter evening, but we really appreciate the service you provide to the community. I do not anticipate that we will be coming back out into public session after our executive session, so our next meeting will be 2 weeks from tonight. Our next regular meeting will be 2 weeks from tonight on Wednesday, August 26th. But again, we will have our 2 budget workshops. And just to explain what those are, each department head makes a presentation, 15, 20-minute, 10 to 20-minute presentation on their department's budget. Some of the departments have more moving parts than others, right, Glenn? Glenn will keep on the hot seat a little bit longer. Tim, we'll keep you a little bit longer too. But those are really an opportunity for us to get not only a first look at the budget proposals department by department, but also to engage with the department heads. Those meetings are 1 week from today, August 19th, at 3 p.m. And 2 weeks from today, again, the same day as our next regular town board meeting at 3 p.m. So we will see you all then, and we've had our motion to go into executive session and voted on it, so we will see you in 2 weeks, if not in 1 week. Thank you, everybody.